I'm Anna with Ambequestrian, and for today's vlog I'm super excited because we are trying something new. I have got COVID in the back in the trailer, and today I'm going to a reined cow horse trainer for a lesson. I have no idea what we're going to work on, if we're going to work on reining or cutting or a little bit of both. I have no idea, but I'm super excited to be going because I've been wanting to try my hand in this for a while now, but obviously big warm bloods and thoroughbreds are not going to be able to do that. So I'm very excited to get the opportunity to try that today. So let's head down to Blum, Texas and see how this goes. Okay, so the first drill we did was working on the turnarounds or spins for COVID. So right here in this circle, I'm asking him to yield his haunches, mostly his inside leg, but keep his body straight. This is to help us in the spins and turnarounds so that I can keep control of his haunches. So here you can see I have my leg in the 3 position for reining, and he's crossing his hind leg over but keeping his body straight. So in this exercise, I'm going to drop him down and ask him for a beginning spin. Once I feel that I've got his inside hind leg coming under and his body is straight and he's relaxed over his top line, I'm going to drop down and ask him to spin. Whenever I do this, I'm going to bring his shoulders around his haunches and almost leave his haunches in place. So right here, he's actually relaxed, and I'm going to ask him to spin. Now, he's going too fast, so I lose my haunches right there. So I go back out onto my circle and ask him to yield that inside hind leg again. And the next time I ask him for a spin, I'm going to go a bit slower so that he can really articulate his legs and so that I have better control of that hind end. But until I get him to relax over his top line and yield that inside hind to me again, he's going to keep going around in this circle. So right here you can see that he is starting to chew the bit and relax, so I'm going to bring him down slower and ask him to spin around that hind end, and he's giving me a couple of good steps, so I'm going to stop and pat him. So now we're going to work the same exact drill, but just the other direction. So I'm asking him to soften over the top line right there. He did. So I'm going to slow down and put him into a spin, asking him to turn the shoulders around the hind legs. There I'm getting some good crossovers, so I'm going to pat him. And we're going to go back to it again. This time I'm going to open the inside rein just a little bit more and encourage him to bend his body into the spin. So here he's resisting me, so I'm just going to wait it out. Let him relax into it. There, he's starting to relax a little bit. And give me that inside hind. So I'm going to start thinking about the spin. I'm going to slow his trot down and open the inside hand and encourage him to come around a little bit more. And his crossovers are even better, so we're going to stop and pat him. So for this next drill, we're going to work on him yielding his shoulders away from me. So here I'm going to counter arc him, and then I have my outside foot in the number 1 position, and I'm going to push his shoulders to the inside of the circle and ask him to give me that part of his body, just like that. And then once he gives, I'm going to go back out and release so that He learns that this is what I'm asking for, this is what I want, but I'm going to keep him counter-arced, just not in the same degree. And then once he's had enough release to think about what we just did, I'm going to bring him back in and ask him to yield that shoulder to me again. And I'm going to give him a release when he does it correctly. Back on out to that bigger circle with a slight counter arc. And then here's a video of my trainer showing me exactly how it's actually supposed to look and the correct aids to use. And you can notice his mare is actually yielding her shoulder and crossing over with her front legs. So this next drill that we're going into is going to start the training for COVID and I sliding stop. So we're going to get him a little bit more on the aids by stopping them at the fence and turning them towards the inside towards the fence. This will get them starting to sit on their hind legs and really drive into the dirt. So once we do it straight along the rail, we're going to go in at a diagonal and stop and turn them towards the fence. Just like this. Now it's COVID and I's turn. So we're doing this at a trot, and I'm going to stop him alongside the fence and then turn him in. And as he continues on, he's going to start sitting a little bit deeper on his hocks and making that turn a little bit more under him. And on this one, he's going to sit better. Right here. He drove that inside leg up under him and turned on it. That's exactly what we're looking for on his stop. But now he's starting to anticipate the turn, and that's where he fell out on that last one. Now my trainer has been so kind and is letting me hop on his daughter's finished reining horse, Miss T. I'm going to get to know her for a little bit since I've never sat on her before or a true finished reining horse. And I'm just going to feel out the buttons because they're certainly much different from our English and dressage buttons. I actually have one hand on the reins and my right hand is holding the extra slack on the reins, which is another new thing for me. So here I'm going to get her loping and feel her out and see how I control her body on a circle. I'm using my leg in that number 2 position and driving her around the circle just using my legs. Once I get pretty comfortable with her going this way, I'm going to ask her to stop right in the middle of the cones. If you notice, every time I come around in the circle, I'm hitting right in between those 2 cones in the middle, because in a reining pattern, that's exactly where your circles are supposed to hit. So now that I've gotten used to her on the left lead, I'm going to switch around and canter her around on the right lead and get used to that direction, because horses are different on both directions. And you have to use a slightly different aids for each direction because every horse has an easy way and a hard way. For me, I found the ride a little bit easier with this mare and I was able to push her up to the bridle a little better. Now I'm going to try a sliding stop for the first time on her. She actually was really good on it for me, but my trainer is going to show me a little bit better way to ask for it. As you can see, he's really pushing his horse up into the bridle and he sits down and the horse drives right up under him. Now I'm going to try my first ever spin on her. This time I'm just playing with the aids and seeing how to correctly ask her to spin. Now this time I'm going to ask her for a little bit more speed by clucking at her as she's spinning. As you can see, she gives me just a little bit more. Now my trainer is going to make me count my spins and be as accurate as possible, so he's showing me exactly how to count whenever you're spinning. And right there he did 3.5, right on the dot. Now I'm going to attempt to make 3.5 on Miss T. So I have half, 1, 2, 3, and I actually went to 3/4, but that's okay. And now I'm gonna go untack COVID, load him up, and head back to the house. Okay guys, that was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. I ate it all up, and so we went ahead and got my trainer's like 10 package lesson thing, so I will be going back for more, and then we will be working cows, eventually when I go back. I'm so excited though. He was so nice and it was really helpful, and I think COVID is gonna really benefit for this, especially in our bail racing. It's gonna help me get his cues a little bit more on time so that we can add speed and stay faster with the same amount of rideability. I'm so happy with how it all went. And then Ricky also let me ride his daughter's finished reining horse, Miss T, and she was amazing. I am so grateful I got to sit on her. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this vlog, please hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button to see more videos like this in the future. And remember to dream big, work hard, and with God, anything is possible. See you next time.